Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Astounding episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick, and with me, as always, is Anthony the Rook, TJ, who's hammered, and with us is our intern stat guy, Sal. Wait, I'm sorry, right that way. All right, this is an unfortunate night for New York sports. It's one of those nights where there's no sports until 10:30 is the Islanders game. It's one of the worst type of days in New York. Like, there's no sports at all. I don't even count the fucking Islanders, but they are on. But they're not on until 10:30, so I won't be rooting against them till then. So I'm stuck here watching Dallas versus Nashville.
I've been watching a lot of college basketball lately because there's nothing else on. No NHL for 2 weeks. Well, no Rangers for 2 weeks. I don't really like the Winter Olympics. I don't get into that.
I'm just happy the Nets aren't on tonight.
Yeah, and the Nets or Knicks are impossible to watch.
Unless it be 10 games straight.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it.
Sal was going back to that really pessimistic Nets mind state for the fan.
We have no hope until Durant comes back. No hope.
It's true. And Harden's not playing because he may be traded, but we'll get into
Harden's
that.
not playing because he's probably about to get traded.
He doesn't want to be there either.
He doesn't want to be there. He said he's trying to get out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah,
so,
that's not great.
I mean, isn't that his MO though?
Yeah, he gets up and leaves anytime the going gets hard. Going gets tough.
I mean, there's a few athletes that are like that though.
Well, he's one of them.
That's like what they do, you know.
Westbrook is one of them too.
Westbrook, LeBron.
LeBron is the king of all of them. Like,
yeah.
Like if I had to put money down on who would quit on their team mid-season, or at least get people kicked off the team mid-season just because randomness, I don't know. It'd be LeBron. I'm surprised there's anybody playing with him anymore.
That's true.
As we segue off of this Dallas Nashville game, which is 1-1 here in the second period, we'll talk about some Rangers action, All-Star game recap, and trade rumors going into the restart next week for the Rangers. Right now, for some of the teams, making up a lot of these games are makeup games from the moment where a lot of teams were down like 30 players because of COVID protocol. Yeah. Like the Islanders, though I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Islanders fans told me the reason they were losing was because of COVID. I don't know. Doesn't seem like that's the reason they're losing.
It's lingering.
I mean, we've been over this a million times. I don't like the COVID excuse. The entire league is going through it. It's played out. I mean, how often are we going to hear that as an excuse? The Islanders are having a shitty season. They really are. You can tell they're having a shitty season because Butch Goring is so bored in the booth that he's trying to attack Ranger fans on Twitter. So, I mean,
it's sad. It really is.
It is sad. You had a great year last year, and you're not following it up this year, and you have the same team. So if you want to sit there and blame COVID, which COVID was worse last year than this year, I mean, what do you? You're just trying to grab at straws right now, and it's pathetic. Just own it. There's something wrong. Listen, you guys have one of the best friggin' you have Lou Lamoriello. Yeah, it gets no better than that in hockey, and you cannot find a way to win. Own it. Your team sucks right now.
And I think, if they don't win right now, they've been at full strength for a little bit now. Now, if they're not winning now, then COVID wasn't a factor. You've got your strength back. So what's the issue?
There's no flow with them. There's no intensity. I mean, you got Matt Martin grinding it out, but he's not gonna. It's hard to put a team on your back when you're a role player. And no offense to Matt Martin, I think he's a great player and he can score and he's a gritty guy. He's a big dude. He can fight.
He's not the
guy. I mean, Barzell is great, but if there's no flow with the team, if they're not clicking, you're not going to win. And especially in the league right now where if you're not putting up 5 or 6 goals a game, there's a good chance you don't win, because you've seen it across the league. All the teams that are playoff bound are putting up numbers, and they're going full speed, all 3 periods. You cannot think that COVID is the reason your team is not clicking, especially when everybody's there. You can't say that it's ruining the flow of the game when we're at the All Star break, and there's been more games than not that your whole team is there, at least the key pieces, and you still can't find a way to win. It's just not your year. Own it. That's it. Like, I'm sick of the rhetoric and the nonsense of excuses. Just, you had a great year last year. You heard it from Ranger fans. You heard it from Devils fans. We were pissed off about it, but, you tip your cap. But this year, it's not your year. Don't try to go on the offensive and attack Ranger fans and Devils fans and shit on everybody else in the Atlantic Division. Dude, just go away. Blame your shitty new arena. I don't know.
And that's not a recipe to win either. That's not a recipe to win. Blaming injuries, blaming, you got to have the next man up philosophy to really make it work.
Yeah.
That's a very big deal. But before we get too far into the NHL All Star Game just passed. Obviously, you're not going to get the same type of play that you're going to get with, a regular game. You don't want guys getting hurt playing in the All Star Game, but you do want there to be a semblance of hockey. And I think that there was. What I really enjoyed was a skills competition on the Bellagio. The only thing I didn't love about it was I wish it was ice.
I wish it was ice, and I also wish there was like fans. It was like awkward. And I think it was pre-recorded. It wasn't happening, right?
I caught it the next day.
So did I. And I think it was pre-recorded live. Like everyone was on the ice, like during that, they're like, oh, we're going to go out to the Bellagio fountains. They go out there. It seemed like nobody was around. Like if that was a live event, I feel like they would have promoted a little more and been like, all right, we're going to be at the Bellagio fountain around 8:30 doing this competition. Why don't you come and check it out?
Yeah, but nobody was Bellagio fountain's gigantic. If you're sitting in the middle of it,
it was there in the middle of it. If you're walking by, you have fans walking by. Like at least have somebody like
you have a sight line. I get what you're saying, right? But you know what?
Called up Jason.
You have about, I would say, the way the Bellagio is set up, where the fountain is, maybe 2 people in can see what's going on. 2 people from the rail of the fountain can see what's going on. Too deep, because it's. I mean, the fountain show is set up to be up above you anyway, so you're looking up, so it doesn't matter, and that's the view you're getting because the fountain's below you. But the way it shoots up 60, 70 feet in the air, you could see it from the other side of the friggin' street. You could see it down the strip. Yeah. So
we used to go to a bar. We used to, for my bachelor party, went to a bar that was a rooftop bar in Paris, and you could see the Bellagio fountains every time. Like,
the beer garden.
Minutes.
Yeah.
What's that?
The beer garden.
Yeah, the beer park.
It's not a great venue to set it up. It's more for the cool factor of like, holy shit, look at this. But that was done for the fans watching on TV. It's not for somebody sitting there going like, oh shit, I think they're doing the fastest skater competition. You're walking by going like, oh, that's cool. I'm down 600 though. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. What I didn't like was there was no like. It was very awkward because it was just the announcers talking to the guys on the speaker on the headphones.
Yeah.
But like, there wasn't like, if it was a little bit live, you could have been like, all right, we're going to play this in the stadium and then pump in the stadium noise. Like if people are cheering, like it was very awkward. Like it's a skills comp. You would think there'd be some sort of cheering going on.
I mean, they could have done that. The Bellagio Fountain Show also has music to it. And it's pretty damn loud. So they could have pumped in fake cheers. Yeah. But I think it was just, let's go with a cool factor and run with it because most people, let's call it what it is. Most people watch on TV. Nobody's going to make a trip out to Vegas to see, the skills competition or the All Star Game. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's cool. But unless you're going there to go there and like, oh, hey, and if we go there this weekend, we can catch the NHL All Star Game and stuff. No one's traveling. A fan isn't traveling because to see 2 of your players.
Yeah. It was actually a pretty good weekend because it had the NFL skills comp. Then it was the NHL skills comp, NHL All Star Game, and then NFL All Star Game, the Pro Bowl, which Pro Bowl sucks. But if you're like a sports fan, like that's pretty cool. Like spend the week in Vegas.
You don't need to be in Vegas to watch the Pro Bowl. Who are you betting on?
I
bet nobody gives a shit. Oh, well, that's going off at negative 4,000 to 1 odds.
No, but you get beat up. But you get beat up by an NFL player while you're out there.
I saw. I hate it. Lately I've been agreeing with the wrong people. Like when it came to the Hall of Fame, I had a lot of agreements with Marcus Stroman, Ben Verlander, Brian Costello. I hate when I agree with people that I generally disdain. And I saw something just so heinous. I guess it was two people I hate, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess. But I hate Brad Marchand so much. Yesterday's game, and I don't like the Penguins either, obviously. I'm a Ranger fan. I don't like Sidney Crosby. I hate the Penguins. But the play of Brad Marchand yesterday, like between knocking the puck off of Jerry's stick that he's trying to give to a fan,
messed up,
and then trying to stop Sidney Crosby from getting a new stick, like basically flat out interfering with him so that he can't get a new stick. And then on top of that, like I didn't see the part right before Jerry got basically blindsided by Marchand, punch him in the head, and then puts his stick in his face. Like Brad Marchand, like how is that guy? Like if I was Jerry, I would have taken my skate off and slit his throat on the ice.
I blame the NHL. I blame the players of the NHL, not the league. I blame the players.
Sidney Crosby just sat there after he punched Jerry in the face, and Crosby was like, I don't know what just happened. Bro, be a man.
It's not even that. It's not even that. You got enough goons in this fucking league. Just somebody should just punch him in the face. It's well-deserved. The guy has multiple times been suspended for taking the stick to somebody's crotch. I mean, multiple times. Right in front of the ref. And it's like, oh, whatever. Oh, he's only like 5'6". So what are you going to do? Hurt him. Hurt him. You're asking to get hurt. So get hurt. You can't do that shit. If you did that shit in the 90s, okay, somebody's going to murder you. Okay. And anybody that wants to fact check me or doesn't remember or wasn't old enough to see the type of plays that went on in the 90s, watch Mike Modano come across the middle and Adam Graves, overall one of the nicest guys to ever play the NHL, put him in the hospital. Put him in the hospital. He laid him out to the point where he was out cold before he hit the ice. Okay? Because there's no nice guys when you're on the ice in the real NHL back in the day when there was some real dirty, gritty nastiness. Okay? That's why I love Jeremy Roenick, because other than the fact
I swear to God, I shit you not. I swear to God. I was like, I wonder how Roenick was.
I love Jeremy Roenick because Jeremy Roenick's like the last of the real all-around great players. He could back check, he could score, he could pass, and he can get into a fight. He can throw a big hit. And I catch a lot of Jeremy Roenick stuff because he's a big golfer. He's a scratch golfer pretty much. And they were just interviewing him, and he said, I knew I was going to have a good game if I was bleeding in the first period. He goes, the first shift I stepped out on the ice, I would try to get hit or hit somebody because you got to wake up. He goes, you got to wake up and get that blood flowing. He goes, I wasn't out there to be anybody's friend. I wasn't goofing around with anybody out there. We could be friends after we're retired. I'm friends with all these guys that I went to battle with. He goes, we weren't friends out there.
Chris Chelios, too.
Yeah.
And Chris Chelios, good friend of John C. McGinley.
Really?
Johnny C. You didn't know that? They play golf.
No.
Yeah, Chris Chelios and John C. McGinley, and I can't remember. There's somebody else that's really obscure. Not obscure, somebody well known, but you're like, he knows them? That's weird.
Like they're all friends, yeah.
And they're all friends. They're like in a foursome, the four of them. Weird. And they're like neighbors.
Joe Buck and Paul Rudd are like good friends. They went to college together.
Did they?
Yeah.
That just seems wrong. Paul Rudd's a great guy. Joe Buck's a douche nozzle.
Yeah.
If it's not worse that he has to deal with Judd Apatow movies, he has to fucking
deal with Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
Well, Ghostbusters Afterlife was amazing.
It was amazing.
But somebody needs to do something about Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
I can't stand the Penguins, and I hate Sidney Crosby even more. But even I was like, dude, you're interfering with him getting a new stick because he's too good for you.
Yeah. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when somebody takes it on
glove?
But you know what? What's going to happen if somebody went old school hockey, got him in the corner, and came up high with the butt end and just shattered all his teeth? That's on the NHL for allowing this douchebag to continue his fucking antics.
Yeah, it's on them then. Fuck them.
You know, because it's not good for the sport. You're trying to be a pest when, unfortunately, the game isn't the way it used to be. Okay, it's more geared towards offense and scoring and moving the puck at a quick pace. It's not geared towards the nastiness. So essentially, nobody's going to go out of their way and take a game misconduct to beat the shit out of them.
So I looked it up real quick. The foursome, right? It is the weirdest foursome ever. I can't even. It's weird. All right. It's John C. McGinley, Chris Chelios, John Cusack, and Tony Danza.
Wow.
Is
Tony D.
that the weirdest golf collection ever?
I wish I could go play golf with them because that sounds incredible.
Doesn't it? I want to be in that foursome so bad.
Angela.
I don't even want to play. I want to follow them in a golf. I'll be their caddy. Just hear these conversations.
This guy rolls
Hey,
a
Sal,
putt
do
in.
you know-
Who's
do
the
you know who's the
boss?
boss? TV show?
The what?
Say that again.
Sal, do you know who's the boss is?
The bosses? No.
Who's the boss?
Like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Who's the boss? Come on, everyone knows who's
We're not there yet. All right. Quit skipping
Everyone-
seconds.
Everyone knows it was Mo. Let's get to the Rangers. Let's go.
All right. So
Who's
New York
Danza?
Rangers. We come back in about a week. My life is just miserable without you.
Come
I'm
back
just
to a
sitting
great
here.
game, though. Great game.
Say that again?
Please.
We come back
miss
to a
you, New
great
York
game.
Rangers.
You do. How long is enough? I mean,
2 weeks, no Rangers hockey.
Yeah, it's a big break. It's a big break. Listen, we ended off with a good win against the Kraken, a great win against the red hot Florida Panthers.
I just want to point out I was at that Kraken game.
You're undefeated going to games.
9-0.
Undefeated in life, bro. I don't 9-0. I don't fucking know. You think I count? I haven't counted how many Ranger games I've been to in my life. I don't have enough fucking fingers for that shit.
But you know what? Coming back to facing the Bruins, then going right in 2 days later to the Red Wings, then 3 days later Senators, and then the 24th you got the Capitals at the Rangers. I mean, that's a good stretch of games. So it sucks to have 2 weeks without a Ranger game, but those are 4 solid games to come right back into in a week span, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be great. I'm excited to see them play again, just to see it. The most Ranger hockey we had was that really nice goal on the that goalie. What is it? The save streak when Kreider had like the no shot goal.
Yeah,
Against Vasilevsky.
He fake clutched basically.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was
That
amazing.
was fun.
The most amazing thing I saw for the NHL was the ode to Peter Lafleur.
Oh, that was actually pretty cool too.
That was the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life because he had to have been able to see through that blindfold.
He had to see it. There's no way, but
He would have crashed into a wall if
Yeah.
he didn't see it.
and he had the puck was on the stick and he like floated it up kind of like around, right?
First of all, he did a 360 with the puck at the end of his stick. Like
yeah, that was sick.
while mid-deke, he did a 360.
Yeah. But the Rangers aren't playing right now, but there are a lot of rumors swirling. So, I mean, I'll let you guys get into it, but this is our guy, Kako.
So
Kako
obviously
Tuesdays.
they're buying, right? They're buying because
The
they're
Rangers
going
are buying. 100% they're buying.
All right. A lot of conversation today about a package deal that may include Capo Caco for JT Miller of the Vancouver Canucks. I want to say the rumor came about because of one reporter in particular, not necessarily because it's true, but because that was his proposal and it kind of snowballed into, oh, this is what they're talking about.
I hope
Right.
it's just a proposal, not a rumor.
No, it was a proposal by a reporter, not
No,
by
I
the
know. I'm saying I'm hoping that's all it is. I hope it's nothing more than that. I'll let you guys cover this. I'm not going to talk anymore. But I'll be upset.
I like the Rangers being buyers. I don't like how initially we heard reports that Sammy Blais was going to be on the block. I think the couple games we did witness Sammy Blais play, I think he has the right attitude, the right kind of intensity. He fits this team very well. Unfortunate that he got hurt for pretty much the season. It sucks. I don't want to see Sammy Blais go, but at the same time, I do not want to see Capo Caco go. I mean, listen, JT Miller, great player. Let me just run down his stats for the year real quick. So in 45 games played, 16 goals, 30 assists, 46 points, plus minus is +6. He's 6'1", he's 28 years old. On the flip side, you got Capo Caco, 37 games played, only 14 points, 5 goals, 9 assists. His plus minus is +7. So at least he's doing something right out there. He's not getting scored on. All right. He's 6'3", 20 years old. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get better. He has 8 years of improvement left in him. I don't like the move. And it's funny. Before I looked up some stats, it reminded me of Alexei Kovalov, how the Rangers got rid of him. And then a couple years later, got him back. And he was a phenom after he left the Rangers. And when we got him back, he was already past his prime and wasn't putting up the numbers that he put up in the couple of years that he wasn't with the Rangers. But looking into it, Alexei Kovalev drafted 1991 by the Rangers first round, 15th pick. Kakpo Kakko, 2019, first round, second pick. JT Miller, right? 2011, first round, 15th pick for the Rangers. Alexei Kovalev and JT Miller are the same person. We're going to do the same thing to ourselves. History repeats itself, and I don't like the maneuver. I don't want to get somebody back that John Tortorella fucking ruined. Let's call it what it is. John Tortorella was the worst thing to happen to New York sports since Adam Gase. I'll throw it out there.
Okay, it's after. So
I'm just saying.
So Adam Gase is the worst thing since John Tortorella.
Right. Okay. John Tortorella is just a douche. Okay. He's getting fucking Captain Ryan Callahan hurt because he's all about blocking shots as if the fucking goalie's pads aren't stacked enough. All right. I'm sick of the nonsense. Okay. And that guy literally ruined all the young kids. Didn't want to play Zuccarello, wanted nothing to do with JT Miller. JT Miller eventually has his exit after John Tortorella has his exit and moves on and starts becoming the better player, the player that he should have been the whole time, but was held back by John Tortorella. And now, a couple years later, we're going to package our first round fucking pick, third overall, right? Second overall, what did I say? For a guy that's 8 years older. The upside for Kaapo Kakko is way better. Okay. You give the guy time to develop. You don't make this move because I don't think that JT Miller is the piece we're missing to battle through the playoffs. I really don't. Like, you know, it's not like we're sitting here talking about like a Joe Thornton type of fucking character of intensity, goal scoring, grit, and just that leadership, that, you know, that playoff leadership that to get you through. We're talking about JT Miller. It's not worth trading 8 years of potential with Kakko for JT Miller because he's on the stat sheet a little bit more.
The way I look at it is, are the Rangers a JT Miller away from a Stanley Cup? The answer is simply no, they're not. No. So it makes no sense to bring him to the team. And from what I'm seeing from a lot of people that have pretty strong knowledge about the inner workings of the Rangers, is that JT Miller doesn't adapt well to what the locker room is doing right now. And the Rangers locker room right now, of all the teams in New York at the moment, except for maybe the Jets. The Jets, for whatever reason, have a really good locker room right now. Maybe it's Salah. I think it starts from the top down, honestly. When you have a good manager, your locker room tends to be solidified. And the Jets with Robert Saleh and the Rangers with Gerard Gallant have very, very, very solid head coaches at that position. Probably the two best head coaches of all the New York City teams, right? I think Barry Trotz is kind of like shaking at this point because of the adversity that his team is experiencing. I don't feel like their locker room is as cohesive as it once was when things were going well. Obviously, the Giants just got a brand new head coach. The Knicks are through the wall. Like, I don't know what the fuck the Knicks are doing with their lives in general. They had their highest paid player slapping assistants' computers out of their hands. The Nets are falling apart on a daily basis. I would say the Jets and the Yankees, everybody, to include the fans, hates Aaron Boone. The Mets just got a new manager. I think that the Rangers and the Jets have the two best coaches, proven coaches at this point. And when I say proven, I mean it's proven that the men like them, that their players
they have
like
control
them.
In the locker room. They have the locker room's respect.
Exactly. And JT Miller, I don't feel fits with this Rangers squad. He's just not a piece to add to the mix. They've got leaders already, and they've got pieces already. We may not win or even make it to the Stanley Cup this season, and that's fine. But I would really hate to be sitting here 6 years later going, we're going to trade our number 2 pick overall for Kaapo Kakko, who we had 6 years ago, and bring him back, because that's basically what we're trying to do with JT Miller. Like, he was here, didn't work out, we got rid of him, so now we're going to sell low and buy high again.
Yeah, but again, that's Alexei Kovalev in a nutshell.
You're
essentially.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
And if you're making maneuvers, if you think that you're going to the cup, right, and you're making a run on the cup, and you're going for it this year, this is your year. You're selling out. You're fucking going for it. JT Miller isn't the grizzled veteran that's going to lead your team to the cup. He's not a 50 goal scorer that's going to get you 2 goals, 3 goals in a 7-game series. That's
He's
going
not
to
Marty
boost
St.
you
Louis.
up. Yeah, he's not Marty St. Louis. He's not Glenn Anderson. He's not any of these guys. He's not. And it doesn't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's not a move that you make with a young talent for somebody that's not going to. If you're moving Kako, you're selling out and you're getting a guy that you think is going to get you to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. And JT Miller's not that guy. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's not that guy.
That being said, I think we talked enough about hockey before Rook sits here and goes, enough about hockey. Yes. So we're going to move on to the NBA. Before I get to Stat Guy Sal, though, let's talk about the Knicks because we're New York after all.
Let's go. Okay, go into the Knicks. Go into the Knicks.
So,
I do want. Wait, sorry. I'm really sorry. Only because our boy Doc is listening. Shout out Doc. He does hate.
What up, Doc?
He hates Marchand as well. Thinks he needs to get clocked, and we agree 100%. Doc, thanks for tuning in again. We appreciate it. Anybody else, if you want to comment,
Doc, thanks for listening, man. We appreciate you,
Doc. All right, back to NBA.
For Doc. But yeah, so moving on to the NBA, I love RJ Barrett. Obi Toppin proved me wrong. I was low on Obi Toppin last year. He was averaging like 2 points per game last year.
I love Obi.
I think it was really 8, but it was awful for a first round pick, especially so high. I think what was he 8 overall? Sal, answers on that one?
I think so.
I think he was.
You're right.
He was top 10. You know, like I was
10.
really,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a COVID year, so it was kind of weird and okay, but I was disappointed with him. But he's playing great now. But I think the biggest story with the New York Knicks right now, other than Thibodeau just fucking sucking in a regular basis and not knowing how to manage a basketball team at a coherent level.
And they trade for Cam Reddish, and he just basically says 4 games did not play.
He didn't want him. Apparently, Thibodeau didn't want him.
That's too bad. That's your roster. Use it, and he's a good player.
And that's the thing. Your job as a coach is not to sit there and decide whether or not you like certain players. Your job as a coach, and we saw Damian Woody say that today, is to put your players in a position to succeed. Are you really going to sit there and tell me that you can't find a position to put Cam Reddish in to succeed? Then you're a failure as a fucking coach and you don't deserve your job. It's that simple. Because the whole world knows he's got talent.
It's just annoying because I feel like Tibbs is one of those strong-headed guys where it's like, I didn't want him on my roster. I didn't want this trade. He's going to sit out, and it just can't do it. Cam Reddish is a young guy.
Outlast coaches.
He has talent. He can attack the basket. You just play him. Like, let's improve the roster. It's what we're trying to do. And if you're going to stay here, GM's going to make a move for a trade for a guy like that, and you're not going to play him, you're not going to be here very long.
That's a fact. It's not like he traded for a fringe guy. All right.
I love Tibbs too. but
he's failing this year. And the biggest part of his failures has got to be Julius Randle, who is seemingly melting down before everyone's eyes. Now, he had a good game the other night.
Yeah, he did.
He had a good night. What, he put down 30 points the other night?
Yeah, I don't have the stat sheet in front of me, but he did play a good game. I know he played well. I think he might have 30 points.
At the same time, we see him in an open Discord with the assistant coach in front of the world to see.
Slapping his
laptop away. Coach is trying to show him something. He's like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That is like, you just don't do that. You don't do that when you're struggling. You're in a war with the fans right now. Now you're in a war with the coaching staff too.
And he had the thumbs down early on. Sorry, Sal.
He is getting some trade interest right now.
He is.
I hope so.
But the trade interest of what I wanted to see was Randall for De'Aaron Fox, and they traded Halliburton. The Kings traded Halliburton away, so now they're not going to trade Fox away too. So now you can't even get that move. And by the way, the Halliburton trade I think was crazy for the Kings. I don't know what they were doing. They traded Halliburton and a couple of players for Sabonis.
Sabonis is good.
DeMonte,
but
Sabonis.
I don't know if I would have made that trade though.
I wouldn't have made that trade.
Wearing our hat backwards tonight, so I just wanted to fit in.
I don't get that trade.
Julius Randle,
is
that allegedly through a third party he asked for a trade,
informally, which is so weird.
That's what it was. I don't know how you informally ask for a trade.
That was my thing. I was like, how do you informally ask for a trade? Either you ask for a trade, or you don't ask for a trade.
He walked up to the GM and was just like, "Hey, if you could trade me, that'd be great."
Yeah, he wasn't in a suit at the time. Like, I don't know.
He didn't have his entourage with him. They didn't do a little dance as they introduced him, Mr. Julius Randle.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Hey, sir, I would like to formally ask for a trade, if you would please.
The gentleman. Like, what do you mean informally? He informally asked for a trade. He's obviously unhappy right now. And it's annoying because the Knicks just gave him a huge contract because they're like, well, you had a really good year. We're treating you well. You like us, we like you. We want you to stay here. You like New York. Let's keep it going. And then basically this year has not been the same Randall we had last year.
So, and here's the conversation. The conversation has become that last year is the outlier, the exception that proves the rule. So he cashed in on a contract year, but that's not who he is as a player. And we see that a lot in sports. You see that a lot where there's guys that they have one mega year and then they go back, they revert to who they were before. You know, the old Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were. You know, like that's what that becomes. But I don't have much more to talk about with the Knicks. Sal, what do we got about the Nets?
Oh,
trade rumors throughout basketball.
9-game losing streak last night was embarrassing. The Nets looked unrecognizable. The entire big three was out. So I watched the game for about 5 minutes, and it was not even worth watching. They
were home, so no Kyrie, right?
And they were home, so there was no Kyrie. And James Harden's about to get traded. Durant's probably going to be out till next month.
Can you imagine if this storyline of this big three was happening to the New York Knicks? The New York Knicks would be the laughing stock of the NBA. Like the Nets, they're in Brooklyn, they're in New York, but people just don't give a shit about the Nets. I'm sorry.
Under the radar.
You do.
No, they really don't.
People don't. Like, KD is always hurt. Kyrie can't play home games. Harden wants out. He's only been there for, what did we say the other day? He was only played 80 games.
Yeah.
He hasn't even played a full season with Brooklyn, technically. Like,
we see that a lot, don't we, though? Well, I mean, really, the Bills were a dumpster fire for about 20 years until recently, and nobody cared. And the Mets have been a dumpster fire since 1962, and nobody cares. So, I mean, a lot of New York, there's only so much room in people's hearts for sports even in New York. So the Nets are the guys. The Knicks are the guys that everybody's gonna the Knicks are the guys that grab the headlines. The Nets are the guys that fly under the radar. And you know what? That's good, at least for Sal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we fly under the radar. The Knicks are always the center of attention. Always. They always get the headlines and all that stuff. But I saw a stat the other day. I couldn't even believe the big three has been playing 2 seasons together. They've only played 16 games together. That's ridiculous.
That is actually kind of insane.
And that's including playoffs. So
that's a Jet stat, by the way.
That's
where Zach Wilson only played like 2 games with his entire wide receiver core for the whole year.
I couldn't even believe that stat. But right now, the Nets, 8th place, fell all the way to 8th, 29-25. Not looking good right now. I want Durant back. I need Durant back.
Yeah, the thing is with that too,
his ashy ass shins.
Yeah,
the thing is people are gonna complain about the Nets and be like, their big three was a failure. Granted, yes, there's a lot of injuries. You can't really blame them for that. I feel like when it comes to injuries, it happens. Like, that's part of any sport. There's always gonna be injuries. So, like, to really badmouth the Nets, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be helping the Nets here. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm just saying you can't really badmouth them that much because these guys were constantly hurt.
I can do what I want. This is America.
Yeah. You have Kyrie, who is with the COVID, the vaccine and stuff. But I feel like even if it wasn't for the vaccine, it still would have been something with Kyrie. Like, Kyrie would have made something up.
There's always something.
There's always something with Kyrie lately. Like,
last year it was personal reasons. He sat out. Now it's COVID. It's always something with Kyrie.
I wonder if I can sit out of my job for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Upcoming trade rumors. Talk to me.
Right now, James Harden for Ben Simmons is the big trade rumor right now. In the beginning, I wasn't comfortable with just getting Ben Simmons, but now that Harden wants out of Brooklyn, Yeah, I'll just take Ben Simmons because I don't need. If James Harden doesn't want to play for the Nets, then okay, just leave. We'll trade you. We have to get something for him. So I'm cool with just Ben Simmons, but I would like a Seth Curry in there too. But I don't know if Philly gives it up. So we might just be getting Simmons.
I feel like with Philadelphia, they like the Nets want to make that deal, and so does Philly because it's kind of getting rid of two disgruntled players and just sending them back to the team. There was a deal today. I think it was rejected by the 76ers. Not a deal, but it was a proposal. Was that we had I think it was the Patty Mills and James Harden.
Yes.
For like a few other players from the 76ers where it just wasn't just I can't remember who it was.
I think it was Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond.
Yeah, Andre Drummond. Yes, that's who was the big name.
And I think it was somebody else included in there. But I think that was like the main three. Which we don't really need Andre Drummond, but if you want to include him in it, go ahead.
But I think it would have been a fair deal. I think the 76ers rejected it.
No, yeah.
And the other thing with trade rumors right now, we had the Knicks. We said before about De'Aaron Fox, which that's not going to happen. The other trade rumor the Knicks were involved in was CJ McCollum, which I would have liked. I like CJ McCollum. Knicks he would have to play the point though. At that point,
I think I just saw him get moved, didn't I?
What's that? He got moved. Yeah, he did get moved. So at this point, that's done. He went to New Orleans. So you don't have. Yeah, he went to New Orleans for. I think it's actually a really good deal for the Blazers as opposed to New Orleans. But
come on,
I would like to have him. The Knicks just need a point guard. The Knicks haven't had a point guard in like 20 years. Like, when was the last time you could name a
Charlie Ward, baby?
No, Stephon Marbury. I think it was after that.
Dude, Stephon Marbury, when he got to the Knicks, was already done. Stop it. Come on.
No, but he was still like
You're not talking about Starbury from the Nets. We're talking about Marbury from the Knicks, and he was.
No, but it was at least he played a point guard position.
So does Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is injured though.
Okay, but he played all last season, guy.
He's not a star.
Are we talking about people that were good, or are we talking about people that played?
People, a solid point guard. All right, fine. You got
it.
I can't argue.
Charlie Ward.
You're right. Marbury wasn't that great with the Knicks.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm not saying he wasn't good ever. I'm saying he wasn't good on the Knicks.
I can see it, Nick.
So the Trailblazers traded McCollum to the Pelicans for Josh Hart, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell.
Yeah, Josh Hart. That was a big one there. And then I think they have a first overall pick, right? Is that what you said?
Yes.
But it's heavily protected. It's heavily protected though.
And two future second round picks too.
Yeah, but I think they're all like really protected, which is sometimes when it comes to protection, it's like you don't ever give it up. But I think it's good for the Blazers. They need to rebuild anyway. Get someone for McCollum was good, but we got Lillard is. I think Lillard's an incredible point guard. He wants to stay in Portland at this point. The rumor about him was going to the Knicks or going to the Lakers, and he's still there. I think at this point, I don't know. You got to build around them for the Blazers, and I think that's a pretty decent deal for the Blazers. They got a lot from McCollum, which is a fair deal. So, but I think besides that, do we have any other trade rumors or any big names?
I got East and West starters for the All Star game. You want to hear that?
Sure, let's go. Give me the starting lineups.
Okay, so the East starters, Giannis.
Hey, listen, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it the right way.
Yeah. The East starter
at point guard standing at. Come on,
pal.
Sorry. All right. So we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, Trae Young, and Jason Tatum replacing Durant for the Eastern Conference. Not bad.
Not bad.
West starters, of course, you got LeBron James. You have Steph Curry, Jokic, Morant, and Andrew Wiggins.
All right.
Those are your starters.
Andrew Wiggins started. That's good. I like that. I like the East team better, though, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Overall starters.
The starters.
I like the West ones.
They're not doing the draft this year? Sal?
I think they are. No, I think they are.
Oh, those just the name to start, but they're still going to do the draft.
Yeah,
right?
Those are just the starters.
Okay, they have to start
even though. Yeah, Tatum is the captain for the East, and LeBron's the captain for the West.
He's always the captain in the West. Him and Curry. It's either LeBron or Curry, whatever.
Well, Durant was supposed to be the captain for the East, but then he got hurt. Yeah.
He got hurt. Well, hey, Tatum's a good guy, though. I like Jason Tatum. Duke alumni. I'm a Duke fan, so. All right, I think, is that wrap up?
Moving on from the NBA.
Yeah, moving on. Let's go.
We're going to move into Does Gen Z Know?
All right.
With that guy, Sal. And does Gen Z know? So, Sal.
Yes.
The symbol for save when you go to save a file, do you know what that symbol represents?
Like
a Microsoft Word.
No, like, so when you see the save icon, what does the save icon look like? What does it represent?
Like a rectangle.
God damn it, we're old.
Try again.
Okay, like a square.
This is amazing.
Okay.
It represents something like a physical object.
It's a physical thing. It's a tangible thing. It's not just a symbol.
I have no idea.
The symbol for save is actually a floppy disk.
I wish I had one.
What we used to use once upon a time to save information.
Didn't you stick like? Wasn't it like a rectangle though?
Yes, it was called a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
A 3.5. Oh, the original was the original was 5 by. What the hell was the original? No, was it 5 by 4? Yeah, it was like 5 by 4, the original one.
Yeah,
7.5 by 5 or something like that was the original floppy, where it was actually floppy. Like,
yeah, it was.
Right, and then they went to the hard plastic.
And then they went to 3.5 by like 2 or something like that. 3.5 by like 2. Like, it was almost a square.
I didn't realize it was actually floppy.
Yeah, back in the day, it was called an A drive.
Yeah.
So on your computer, if you've noticed, your operating system runs on your C drive. Usually a disk drive thereafter is a D drive, or however many drives you have plugged in. It may be E or F, or even G or H. But A was always your floppy drive.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so with that, it was really fun. The reason why this came to mind, I saw somewhere that someone told like their teacher, "Oh, that's really cool. You 3D printed the save icon," because he had a floppy disk in his hand. But also, fun fact, I got a floppy disk with my Independence 4, Independence Day ID 4. What was like the initial? It came with the toys, and you would have games, and you would upload them with the floppy disk to the computer, and you would play Independence Day games. Yeah, floppy disk. We're old.
But the original floppy disk was actually floppy. It was like soft plastic, and you could like.
I didn't know that.
Like
that part didn't know.
Like a Polaroid picture, you could shake that bitch.
Yeah, you could shake it like a Polaroid picture.
All right, so question number 2.
TJ.
Do you know what? I don't even. And you asked the question because I don't even know how to ask the question.
Okay, so I guess when a teacher would come in and show you a slideshow, what would they use typically? Do you know like what it was?
Oh, that big like giant thing where they like the top of it would be glass, and they would like put it on and project it on the screen.
Overhead projector is what he's talking.
Overhead projector.
That's overhead projector, but there was another one that was like a circular one. Did you ever have one of those?
No. No, I had the big one. I had like the big giant one.
The overhead one. So
yeah, the overhead.
Yeah, an overhead one is a win. I'm gonna give it to him.
I'm gonna give it to him because that is close. So
there used to even have chalk.
It used to be a carousel projector where it would be different slides in a circle.
Instead of using PowerPoint, they actually had slides. That's why in PowerPoint they're called slides.
And it was a circle?
Yeah, if you watch old cop movies and they're discussing a case, they'll be like, next slide, and they'll click a thing, and
they would click it, and then it would switch to the next one. But it was like this big. It was a big circle. They had like different slides in them, and they would click it. And the best was like when their teacher would click it, and the next slide didn't show up because the slot was empty, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta click it again." And like it was like that archaic. It was just it's weird. I thought that was a fun one because now like all the kids have smart boards. Like like she Googles YouTube to like show them like whatever they're trying to teach him that day, which is like when I was a kid, we always have pictures of lizards and shit.
I didn't even have that until like my senior year of high school.
The overhead?
No, the smart boards.
Oh, the smart boards. Yeah, I had smart boards when I was in law school. So
that's cool. I had chalk. I remember my teacher taking this big thing with 5 pieces of chalk on it, going,
yeah.
She would have lines on the board.
Yes, I remember.
I think I had a chalkboard in first grade. I still had it. There was still one in the classroom. But like second grade.
You never had detention and had to bang out the erasers, though. I guarantee you that.
Nobody ever did that. Stop it.
No, we did that, but we'd eventually just throw the erasers at each other and get in more trouble, and you'd told to leave.
I used to be the chalk monitor.
Right, we did use the erasers at each other.
I used to be the board monitor. So my job would be to erase everything at the end of the day and then wash the board. And we would have to clap out the erasers. That was our job. Yeah. We'd go outside, we slap the erasers against the wall to clear out the erasers.
Only Stitches got that job. I have a question for you, Sal. If I'm watching a game show consisting of the following teams, what show am I watching? The Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Green Monkeys, the Orange Iguanas, the Purple Parrots, the Silver Snakes, and I'll give you extra credit if you know what network that show was on.
I have no idea.
Hold on. Let's give him a hint. The metamorphic rock that spoke to you and gave out hints was called Olmec.
Yes.
I don't think it was metamorphic, but all right.
All right. I mean, how else would you describe it?
I don't think metamorphic is the word.
I'm at a loss. I don't know. What is it?
The other clue would be that no one ever won this game.
That's a fact.
Dude, no way. People won all the time.
It was on TV.
No, it did not.
It was on TV for like 10 years.
It's on TV now, by the way. Hold on. It is on TV now, by the way. They brought it back.
Nickelodeon. Slime.
It's called Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I don't think I've ever watched that. It was on Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was an incredible show.
For at least 7 years, if not more.
It was on for a long time. People rarely won the game. They get kidnapped by the creepy little
they could never put the stupid little statue together.
Yeah, they put the monkey statue, the monkey
yeah.
The legs, the body, and the head.
They'd always put it on backwards. They'd struggle with that crap for like ever. I don't understand how those kids were that stupid. Obviously, the legs go on the bottom. It's a fucking totem.
But, by the way, metamorphic, denoting or relating to a rock that has undergone transformation by heat, pressure, or other natural agencies, or metamorphic, as in Jekyll to Hyde was metamorphic. So the dude was a fucking non-living thing that turned into a living thing and spoke, and it was made of rock. Metamorphic is the fucking word. Suck it.
I still don't feel like it's metamorphic is the word.
I'm gonna metamorphic my fucking ass.
Boom, boo this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Some of us got over a 900 on our SATs. And that was out of 1,600, all right? Settle down, Sal.
1120.
2,400 shit.
It was 1120.
What did you get at SAT?
Me?
Yeah.
Ink.
Oh, shit.
I don't remember.
Ink. He got ink on it.
No. I want to say like 1090 or 1100. I didn't do great.
Oh, I beat you. I was 1100s. Boom.
1120, baby.
My dick.
Dude, congratulations. You got an 1100 SAT. You're a lawyer. You're the pilot that just barely passed fucking flight school. And now you're running the fucking gauntlet during a hurricane. Thanks.
And then our last question is, if I were going to use Napster, what am I using?
Napster?
Or what am I trying to do?
I don't like how I'm just cut out, like as if I don't have questions. Fuck you and your last question shit.
Was it?
Well, that was on the list, guy.
I wasn't on the list. I was at work. Busy.
What am I doing? Stop looking it up. What is Napster used?
He's looking it up.
I'm looking it up. I have no idea.
So once upon a time, back when we were degenerate lowlives, or younger degenerate lowlives, I should say, if you wanted to download music through alternative methods, you used Napster.
Illegally.
It was the original iTunes.
No, alternative methods. It's only illegal if you get caught.
It was Sean Parker was the original, was the guy who invented it, and he got in a shit ton of trouble.
I think I remember about that.
So before there was before there was Apple Music, we had to download music, either buy actual CDs. You know what a CD is, right?
Yeah.
It's like a DVD, but smaller.
I hope he knows. Like, God.
And
No,
when I
I
say
know what
smaller,
that is.
I mean in memory size, not actual physical size.
Yeah.
You would go online and you would go and look up your favorite jam, Sublime, fucking Green Day, and spend 3 days downloading a.
I was just gonna say.
Oh.
You would go to bed praying that your mom didn't like call someone in the middle of the night that would break up the internet connection and ruin your download of Sublime.
It took 3 days.
No, not 3 days, but it took a long time. Like you would download an audio from Napster, and it would
take 3 hours.
It'd probably take an hour or two. You'd be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to listen to this Newfound Glory song. It's gonna be amazing." And like I'll hear it like tomorrow morning, and you would wake up in the morning. It was like Christmas morning. You'd go to your computer and like, "Oh, it finally downloaded. Hit or miss. Let's go."
And porn, man, porn used to take forever.
Yeah, don't get it started.
Crazy.
On porn. If audio,
they don't know what it's like to have to try to go in and pretend like you're 18 to buy a Playboy to walk out, and the guy's like, "Dude, you're sad, aren't you?"
Go
Take it and go.
borrow encyclopedias from the library because they had naked indigenous people in it.
Geographic, bro. I'm not looking at the volcano, but there's something that's about to erupt.
He'd go and get the V's and look up what's in V.
Hey TJ, why are you taking the Nat Geo magazine into the bathroom again?
Dude, what are you talking about? I have no shame. Bathroom? Out in the open.
Of course, Steven shared a room with him.
All right, hold on. Now, let me get a question in, if you don't mind, Nick.
Hurry up.
All right. Fuck you, would you hurry up? Poke you in the eye. All right, Sal, can you name me 5 original Nintendo games?
MLB Baseball. What was it? RBI Baseball?
Okay, that's RBI Baseball.
That's one.
Was there Madden wasn't a thing for Nintendo, was it back then? No.
Not back then.
No, Madden was for Sega originally, I believe.
Damn.
Sal, there's the most Nintendo game ever.
He said, "Is there gotta be a wrestling one?" No way.
There has to be a wrestling one.
The most obvious Nintendo game in the history of Nintendo.
Yeah,
Mario Brothers.
There you go.
There you go. There's 2. 5's a lot to ask for.
There has to be a wrestling one. Fall Brawl or something like that.
Say that again.
Fall Brawl?
No.
He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get it.
I don't understand how he doesn't just go through like Mario Kart and just answer like 6 names.
Well, all right, I'll tell you this. The basic ones that you should know: Duck Hunt.
Yes.
Okay, right up there. Paperboy. And my all-time favorite, Blades of Steel.
Basic one is Donkey Kong, dude. What are you doing with your
life? Yeah, I wasn't a Donkey Kong guy.
But it doesn't matter whether you're talking about the original Mario, you're talking about original Nintendo, Donkey Kong, dude.
But we're a sports podcast, and
I hear you.
The hockey game was
you say
Blades
Tecmo
of Steel.
Football.
Tecmo Football was great.
Tecmo Football was good too.
You say Tecmo, man.
Was there a boxing one?
Yes.
Mike Tyson's
Punch Out.
Mike Tyson.
No, it wasn't. Was Punch Out original or?
Punch
yeah,
Out.
you're right. It was original.
Punch Out was not Mike Tyson. Sorry.
Oh no, there was a fake character who was like Mike Tyson that Mario would punch out.
Mario was actually the ref.
Mario's the ref. I'm sorry. You're right. It's a little white dude that knocks out Mike Tyson.
Yes.
I'm impressed that he had an overhead projector, like with the clear paper. Your teacher would fuck up and throw some spit on there to try to fix it.
As we progress with this, I feel like Sal's going to be like in the original Austin Powers, like Mama Cass ham sandwich, just sitting there looking up all the shit that he missed.
All right, so moving on to the MLB lockout continues.
All right, before we get on to the MLB lockout, I just want to say goodbye to Sal. Sal's going to take out. He's going to be in the behind the scenes looking up some stats. So, Sal, we appreciate you once again. coming on,
course.
letting us pick your brain about what Gen Z knows. So we appreciate it, Sal. We'll
Way to
see
go,
you.
Sal.
We'll see
See
you
you
at the
guys
end.
later.
Later.
See you guys later.
We'll have Sal come back when we have Super Bowl predictions. So.
Jesus Christ, let the man finish saying goodbye for Christ's sake.
He did say goodbye.
He was like, I'll see you guys.
Quick trigger finger.
Shit.
We got to get this thing moving. We got a half hour. We only got 26 minutes left.
All right, so the lockout continues. Rob Manfred sucks.
Sucks, bro.
And it looks like the spring training will be delayed.
Yep.
It's already delayed. It was supposed to pitchers and catchers were supposed to report this week, wasn't it?
Well,
This weekend?
I think he means actual games.
Right, but they said right from the get-go that if any sort of the initial warm-ups are delayed, then the games would be delayed right out the gate. So I think last week they
pitchers
put
and catchers are supposed to report till Friday.
right this week.
So he's going to come out tomorrow and say they're not reporting on Friday.
Right,
Yeah.
but we knew this when the talks fell through last weekend.
No, because they said they were going to keep going regardless of whether or not talks fell through.
Who's
But
gonna do that?
that's what's going on there. I was going to go on a long tirade about Mets fans and make them cry like I have in the past.
Let's do a quick tirade then.
Very quickly, I just, I'm a Yankee fan. I don't like to talk about the Mets, but every so often, you people just step outside of your realm of safety and you say stupid things. And some stupid things that I saw today involved one person said the Mets are now Big Brother. And I don't understand where he gets the balls to say something so fucking stupid. Like,
Who gives you the right?
Who do you think you are? What gives you the right? Like,
What hubris? What hubris he has?
Yes, it was just so ass. Oh, we have a richer owner that wants to spend money. The Mets were top 5 in salary from 2000 to 2012. It resulted in 2 playoff appearances and 0 World Series wins. Okay. Spending money does not get you a W. The Yankees have had the highest payroll in the league, top 3 for the last 20 years. They have not won the World Series every year for 20 years. Okay, there's a lot more that goes into it than just spending money.
The Mets would be able to talk more shit.
Having Steve Cohen's not going to do dick for you.
But the Mets would be able to talk more shit if they were on the, I would say, like the Tampa Bay Rays aspect of, hey, we don't spend the kind of money, but we compete. You'd have more of a leg to stand on and be relevant, and you're never fucking relevant. Yeah, you're not relevant. You're never relevant. Big Brother, you can't get people out to that fucking shit stadium, okay, in Queens. All right, it doesn't happen. No one cares about the Mets. You can spend all the money you want. You can get spend as much money as you want on pitchers that are over the hill. Okay, it doesn't matter. You at one point the fucking Mets literally had the best 1 through 5 fucking pitchers in the league, and they did nothing.
4 of them got injured.
Yeah, they did nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this like ballsiness, this gall comes from. Is that 3 Philosophers?
No, it's Rye Barrel Vanilla Stout.
Where the hubris comes from, right?
Dude, yeah, I don't understand where it comes from. I don't understand why you step out of your safety net of maybe this year we can win a little bit. Maybe this year we can be relevant. I mean,
I'm okay with
laughing
that.
stock of fucking the MLB. You've been the butt of the joke for fucking 30 years. Shut up.
I just want to point out they were number 8 overall in salary last year and did not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Yankees are going to win the World Series. Just saying that the Mets they have no leg to stand on. And then I saw somebody else say something that that New York is a National League town. And I said, and he goes something along the lines of like, what's wrong? The New York is a National League town. That's the theme of the Mets because they're a combination of the Dodgers and the Giants, which is fucking stupid in general because no. I mean, you can sit there and try to say that. Oh, well, they were the Giants with the Dodgers colors. They were New York City's colors, guys. Come on now. That's why the Knicks and the Islanders also wear the same fucking colors. Like, it's not rocket science here. But he said that the New York City is a National League town. I said New York City hasn't been a National League town since 1923. He said there were 2 New York National League teams until 1957. Read some history. I said, yeah, and from 1923 to 1957, an American League team won 17 World Series and had the most famous baseball player in the history of the existence of the game of baseball, to the point where there's still a candy bar named after him. And he was just like, the Mets are the most successful expansion team. They've won 5 pennants and 2 World Series. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with this not being a National League town? I was just like, all right, just stop.
I feel like you can't say you're like,
you have some hope this season. You still probably won't make the playoffs. Your 4 out of your 5 starters will be on the injured list by June, and your own players will be booing your fans once again by August. All right.
You also can't say you're the most best expansion team when you've been around since 1960.
You're also the oldest expansion team.
Dude. And also, you said you won 2 World Series since 1960. The Marlins are the same fucking thing from 1997 on. You're not fucking better.
Bro, the only way the Mets are relevant, okay, is the fact that in pop culture, they are the fucking joke. Family Guy, here comes the pitch. Season's over. How I Met Your Mother. I have a cigarette the day the Mets get eliminated from playoff contention.
Wow.
And these shows are from fucking California. They don't know baseball, let alone fucking East Coast, New York City fucking NL teams. Right. But again, an AL town. You're the butt of the fucking joke.
They're just a butt, not even a joke. Moving on.
Yes.
The lockout continues.
No, listen, Doc with a good statement. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nick. Doc with a good statement. It's not that they're making moves and the moves are questionable. I like the fact that they got an owner in there, and I'm happy for the Mets fans that they got an owner in there that's going to generate some pop, okay, especially with some signings. That's great, but that's not the problem. The problem is Met fans always step away from the fact that in reality, they've been the butt of the joke for 30 fucking years. They've done absolutely nothing in the league since 1986. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, they made that World Series run.
They won 2 pennants in 35 years.
But it's the fact that
you know I said
the New York
today.
Attitude of let me talk shit because I see Yankee fans talking shit all the time, and I'm not a Yankee fan that talks shit. I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, oh, how many rings? I don't have enough fingers. Like, yeah, whatever. Let's do good this year. But where do you get off with fucking? You don't see me and Nick over here, dejected Jets fans, sitting here being like, this is the year we're gonna win the fucking the Super Bowl, and it's like we've done nothing to improve the team. Like, come on. Like, it's where you got some fucking balls to come off and talk shit to anybody. Just sit there and be happy and enjoy your fucking team and enjoy the moves you're making, and hopefully it works out. But if we're going with historically, it ain't gonna work out.
Ultimately,
the whole signings are gonna get hurt.
The whole conversation came about because essentially somebody said that the Mets were bringing back the All Star game. Somebody on the fan said the Mets were not the All Star game, excuse me. They were bringing back Old Timers Day, and they said, stop trying to be like the Yankees. To which Howie Rosen, who works for the Mets, said the Mets have been doing Old Timers Day since 1962, which is very sporadic. At which point I said the Mets were founded in 1962, so who the fuck were they inviting to Old Timers Day? And apparently in their inaugural season, they brought back retired Dodgers and Giants. Which is the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, that you honored people that never played for your team, which is very par for the course for the Mets, who named like a whole part of their stadium after fucking Jackie Robinson, who also never played for the Mets. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. The Giants and the Dodgers still exist and can have their own Old Timers Day.
Right. And honor those players.
It's just very sad. The Mets are a very sad franchise.
I heard the Mets try to bring Bobby Bonilla back for an Old Timers game, but he said, fuck you, you're paying me anyway.
I'm surprised he's not on the active roster. If I remember right, in like 2008, he was the highest paid outfielder on their team or something like that.
Fucking clown.
That's 2008. It had to be like 2013 or something like that. He was the highest paid outfielder on their team. Pretty sad, actually. Right. Moving on to the PGA. We're going to talk PGA.
Absolutely. Listen, I don't know if you guys watched this weekend. I was all about the watching from work. But all about the Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am. I love the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I love Pebble Beach as a course. That's on my bucket list of courses I want to go out and travel to and play for a little dude's golf trip. I mean, you're talking about pristine conditions. You're talking about some of the most iconic shots visually in golf. The par 3 seventh, amazing. I mean, depending on how the wind's blowing off the ocean, off the Pacific, you could be playing a gap wedge into a 109-yard par 3 green, or you could be playing a fucking 7-iron because that thing is coming in at 40 miles an hour in your face. Amazing. You got the 18th where you're pretty much going over water and trying to play left of the tree out there in the middle of the fairway. Just epic. Last year, I mean, the hole was won on an eagle from the fairway. The tournament was won by a hole out eagle from the fairway. I mean, it's just a great tournament. Tom Hoagie took it down this year, but you had Jordan Spieth in the mix. But I think the thing that made the most waves this week is, did you guys catch Phil Mickelson's rant and kind of tearing into the PGA?
No,
I did
why
not.
don't you tell us?
Please educate me.
All right, so I'm going to read you his exact quote. So this is from Phil Mickelson, just on the PGA Tour itself. For me personally, it's not enough that they are sitting on hundreds of millions of digital moments, that they also have access to my shots, access I do not have. They also charge companies to use shots I have hit. When I did the match, there have been 4 or 5 of them. The tour forced me to pay them $1 million each time for my own rights, for my own media rights. That type of greed to me is beyond obnoxious. And a lot of this is stemming from, I don't know if you've seen it, Saudi Arabia is talking about introducing their own little golf tour, bringing some players out there and some pros. And there's been a lot of contention around golf and between golf fans, because while you could sit there and say, I agree with Phil, it's his shots, he should be able to use it, and you know, who the PGA to monopolize on the efforts of them. At the same time, the PGA has come out and in the past 25 years, essentially from the boost that Tiger gave the PGA, brought in all these sponsors, and that's how you have a $5-6 million purse for some of these matches. Okay, that's how you get the couple $1 million endorsements deals. NetJet and Callaway and TaylorMade and Rolex and all these companies coming out and paying a shit ton of money. So you literally, you and 10 generations down the line in your family will never know struggle. So it's a double-edged sword. I appreciate what Phil is saying. I think it's ridiculous that he had to pay to be able to put on the match. I think that's a fucking joke. That's insane. And I've heard from other media outlets, a lot of people have bitched and moaned about the PGA Tour over the last couple of years, because essentially if you go there to try to just get interviews or you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to bring a phone. You're not allowed to record. The PGA tells you straight out from Thursday to Sunday, the guys are ours. The interviews are ours. We monopolize that shit. But at the same time, the amount of money they're making for the sport, can't really blame them. This week, we got the Waste Management Phoenix Open. And me personally, I think this is the official start of the new golf season, the 2022 golf season. I look forward to it every year.
I just played that in 2K.
Nice.
I won.
Listen, playing at the stadium course, I mean, just the crowds there, it's just chaotic. It's amazing.
18 is the iconic with all the huge stadium right around it.
17, the par 3 is it, or 16?
17 or 16, right? I think it's 18.
So the par 3, that it's just you're surrounded by people. Everybody's in danger if I'm there. Let's put it that way.
Oh, 100%.
But I mean, I think that's the official kickoff. A lot of people will point to the Arnold Palmer Invitational, but I think that's smack dab in the season. I think this officially kicks it off, especially up here in the East Coast. We're starting to, we can feel the warmth coming.
But moving on to the NFL, I'm not even going to talk about Pro Bowl. It's an absolute disgusting thing. The Pro Bowl is an embarrassment to this game of football. It is not football. The most interesting thing that happened at the Pro Bowl was Alvin Kamara getting arrested for pretty much felonious assault.
The biggest hit that took place in Pro Bowl weekend was off the field with Kamara beating the shit out of that guy.
Moving on. The Super Bowl's next week. We have a big show coming up, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm fucking psyched about this shit. Let's do it. Super Bowl Sunday.
So here's Super Bowl Sunday. We got it here. The Belly Up Big Game Bonanza star in the MD's Fantasy Football Show. We got High Low Sports, TSS Fantasy.
Those TSS guys, shout out to those TSS guys. They're great. I caught a couple of their episodes. They are on the money. I love those guys.
They're really
I watch
funny.
MD. MD's good as well.
MD is also
MD
great.
is great. I mean, they're all great.
They're all great, but the stuff that I've been able to pay attention to and catch,
TSS,
yeah, big time.
Hilo's great because Hilo does they call all the major games. Like they've been doing all the playoff games and Colorcast.
Right.
And then you have the Belly Up Fantasy Sports, which is good as well. Gridiron Gallery, and then my personal favorite, the Scoreboard Addicts podcast will also be on this Sunday. I think we'll be on around 3 p.m. We have the meeting tomorrow, so we don't know exactly what time we'll be on, but we'll be on. I think it's a 3.5 hour show. Plenty of stuff going on, lots of content. So check it out. Tiki Live, bellyup.tv. We're also sponsored by Manscaped Yeats, and I think we have a couple other sponsors that we're going to have on as well throughout the show. So it's going to be a great event. Check it out. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Who isn't looking forward to this?
Rook, throw up our number again, because you know what, guys? Listen, we don't get a lot of phone calls. Throw some phone calls in. We're going to be running down some bets, some prop bets, having a little fun with that. So call us in. Give us some what do you want to hear? What kind of bets do you want to hear? What kind of prop bets do you want to hear? Because we're going to be going all over the gamut of it. Call in. Give us a little take. Give us what you think, what you want to hear, what kind of picks you want to see, because we're going for it this weekend, and I'm wagering my actual money. This isn't going to be some just bullshit. I'm going this, going that. I'm throwing some cash around. I'm shooting for the stars on this one. So we're going to have fun. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be fun either way. We got fucking wings, beers, football. I mean, how do you go wrong?
And Super Bowl Sunday,
just so you know, we're not going to have a show before the Super Bowl. If you call in, we will respond. Please leave us your handle on Twitter. We'll get back to you on Twitter, Instagram, something like that, and we'll send you a message about, hey, what we're doing with. Obviously, we won't have a show, or live us on Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll talk to you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to do our segment on Sunday for the big game bonanza for Belly Up is going to be bets. So we're going to be talking about prop bets, player bets, crazy national anthem, whatever crazy thing we could bet on, we're going to be talking about it. So we're excited. But that brings us to Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to go into what our predictions are, some of the storylines. We're going long here, which unfortunately sucks for Nick because he'll have to edit this down to make it 15.
So long story short is, before we get off, right, because we're only on for an hour and a half, let's get into real quick. Who are your picks, gentlemen? I'm going Rams.
So
Bengals, baby. I got to go. I've been against the Bengals. I've been picking against Joe Burrow, but I'm a believer, and I don't believe in the Rams. I think the Rams will find a way to fuck themselves up.
So I have both the Rams and Bengals jersey.
We know.
I didn't want to wear it because I didn't want to give up. But I do have this hat.
Wagon.
Hey, which way I'm going? It's not LA, baby. It's Bengals, baby. Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. Let's go. I'm so excited for this. We're going Bengals. I'm taking Bengals plus 4.5 because I think the Rams might actually win, but I'm gonna still take them plus the 4.5 points.
I don't believe in the Rams. I believe in Aaron Donald.
I believe in the defense too. I think that's the reason why.
And keep in mind, a lot of these guys on the Rams team have already been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they have. It's the second time.
So
they're hungrier. I think they're a little hungrier than the Bengals right now, to be honest with you.
Some of those guys are. They have a much more experienced team, in my opinion.
They do. And
it's going to be a good game. Either way, it's going to be a good game. The one thing I am rooting for is that one of my boxes hit in the pools.
Of course.
And of course, player safety. We want everybody to walk away from the game.
Yeah. No, I just want to make money. I'm sorry.
So I do want to say this is that some of the storylines that we were looking at that I was talking about was Jalen Ramsey's going to be covering Jamar Chase, apparently. That's been the big story. And Jalen Ramsey's like, I'm treating it like another day at the office. I have to go to work. I'm going to make sure I'm covering up, Jamar Chase. So that's going to be interesting to look at.
I'm sure Eli Apple will be covering Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'll get burned a couple times. So anytime Cooper Kupp, TD, whatever it's worth, just put your money on it. We have obviously the story of Stafford versus Burrow. You have Matthew Stafford looking to solidify his legacy, showing everybody the minute I got out of Detroit, I won a Super Bowl. Like his first season out of Detroit, out of the loser city that is Detroit. I'm sorry if you're from Detroit, but that team is a loser city.
I got kin from the D. All right, be cool, man. Be cool.
All right.
Listen, Detroit's been on the downtrend since like 1968.
But it's not the people's fault.
I didn't know
it's
the
not.
people. I said it's a loser team.
But listen, right? You can't glaze over it. And I
Tim
don't
Allen's
like,
a Detroit fan. Show some fucking respect.
I don't
He's
like
the
the
Santa
fact.
Claus.
I don't like the fact that you have a lot of people out there saying, oh, Matthew Stafford, he deserves a Super Bowl. Fucking everybody that laces him up deserves a Super Bowl. Like,
No,
you're
you
playing the
played
game
for the
hard.
Lions for a good chunk of your career.
It
You
doesn't
definitely
matter.
deserve
Who
more than
gives
everybody
a
else.
shit?
But I
Dan
think it
Marino
shows-
deserves a fucking Super Bowl.
No,
I
he
don't wanna hear
doesn't.
that shit.
Fuck
Yes, he
Marino. It's the
does.
Dolphins.
Yes, he
It
does.
would solidify his legacy, though, if he's able to win a Super Bowl the first season that he's out of Detroit.
It would.
Right?
Yeah,
And
I
then-
guess, but I don't think that warrants, he deserves a Super Bowl. There's been plenty of quarterbacks that deserve a Super Bowl more that didn't get one.
By the
I
way,
think
Joe
the
Burrow,
would be awesome.
if Joe Burrow wins, Joe Burrow would be the first player to win a national championship, a Heisman Trophy, and the Super Bowl ever.
That's
Wow.
That's
He's
pretty
also the 9th Joe to go to the Super Bowl.
He's also, if he does win, he'd be the third Joe to win a national
No,
championship.
I'm sorry. He's the 6th. He's the 6th Joe to go to the Super Bowl.
So if he does win, he'd be the third Joe and third player overall. It just happens they're all named Joe to win a national championship and a Super Bowl, which would be Joe Namath, Joe Montana, and then Joe Burrow if he does win. And then not even that, Joe Burrow. Think about it, if he wins, he won a national championship 3 years ago, kind of, I guess you could say, at this point. So he would, out of 3 years, he would have a national championship and a Super Bowl
And a
Pretty
Heisman.
impressive. And a Heisman. So it's impressive within 3 years. It's a impressive feat for football. I mean, you're looking at Donald, you're looking at that O-line. Could that O-line hold Donald? Could it hold Von Miller? It's a big one.
Yeah,
So-
so I'm going with the pass rushers on this. That's why I picked the Rams. I'm going with the pass rushers.
That's why I'm going Bengals plus 4.5, but I'm thinking the Rams will win this game.
So before we get cut out, and if Doc is still with us, I want to pose him a question because he brought up, the Masters at Augusta, and I'll ask you guys the same thing. But if Doc can chime in real quick too, what would you rather sit 50-yard line at the Super Bowl, first seat, first row, or be in the gallery, Masters Sunday, seeing a victory on the hallowed grounds of Augusta, Georgia?
Considering I've already played at Augusta,
You did not.
I'm going to go Super Bowl.
Why? I'm going to go Super Bowl because Super Bowl tickets, I think, are way more expensive. I'm going to go Super Bowl.
Super
I'm
Bowl
going-
tickets are
I'm-
more expensive than going to watch the Masters. 100%.
I'm going to the Masters. Okay. Just because the fact that the Masters only puts out so many tickets a year, it's a lottery system to be able to buy tickets. Then if you go on StubHub to try to get tickets, especially for Sunday, you're paying out your ass the same as the Super Bowl. Anybody can get Super Bowl tickets. You just got to pay for them. The Masters tickets, you have to be lucky enough to be able to find them on StubHub and not pay $10,000 for a fucking
Well, you
ticket.
could get the lottery too.
Right. And I've been putting in.
There's
for
no
the past-
lottery for the Super Bowl. You're just fucked overall.
No,
Yeah.
it's a lottery to be allowed to buy tickets. You can
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
Super Bowl tickets. You cannot buy Masters tickets unless you
but
hit
it's
the lottery.
$5,000 to sit in the upper deck next to Jesus.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You
It
have the
totally does
opportunity-
matter. It's $5,000 to sit next to
You
Jesus.
have the opportunity to buy tickets.
I'm not worried about. I played there. I'm not worried about it.
You've never played there. You've never even smelled it.
See, look, Doc's
Doc
already
is-
been to the fucking Masters.
Doc
He
is-
watched me
dude,
play
Doc-
there.
Dude,
Doc's living life, man. Been already here. Been to the
I am
Masters.
jealous, sir. I have been putting in for the lottery for the past 6 or 7 years, and I just can't get it done.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
need to-
lucky enough, I
See,
guess.
The mere fact that you said you put in for the lottery immediately trumps you lost the whole Super Bowl thing because you ain't putting in for Super Bowl tickets because you couldn't
I can
afford it.
buy Super Bowl fucking tickets right now if I wanted to.
Do it then, big man. You got so
I don't
much
want
talk.
to.
All right,
I don't
all
wanna go-
5'6" of
No.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to go to California. It's a shithole. Deal with it.
All right, well, going into some of the prop bets, we're not going to go make our picks yet because we do have the show on Sunday. But some of the odds here right now. So we have over under for Sunday, but we have 275 over under for 275.5 for Burrow, over under 280.5 Stafford. So we will discuss that probably on Sunday as well. And then lastly, another graphic courtesy of Stat Guy Sal. Great work on the graphic, Sal. We love it. MVP odds. So here are the MVP odds. So I guess we'll do this. We may not cover this on Sunday, but I mean, what are you guys looking at here? These are the top 6 for MVP odds here. We have Stafford, Burrow, Cup, Donald, Chase, OBJ, and you can see the numbers there. I mean, you're going to win.
He'll be one of the quarterbacks. Who are we
It's
kidding?
definitely one of the quarterbacks, unless somebody like Jamar Chase goes fucking off.
But let's talk about like Julian Edelman won one year. What year was that? Was that with the against the Rams?
Probably. You know why? Because Tom Brady probably said, "I've had enough. Just give it to somebody else."
It was a 13-3 game. It was terrible, but he had great yardage the entire time. So I mean, it could happen.
If you're looking at the Bengals winning, you put the money on Joe Burrow there.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I'm saying if you're gonna go a long shot, if you want to put a little money on it, I would probably go with either Cup. I think plus 600. I think he might have.
I can't see it. I can't see it. After all we just said, with the Matthew Stafford coming from Detroit, they're going to give it to Stafford.
You don't tell me if Cup
they win, they're giving it to Stafford.
If Cup scores 2 touchdowns, 100.
If he scores 3 touchdowns, that means Stafford threw for fucking 350 yards. They're giving
and the only reason he had 3 touchdowns is because OBJ was on the other side.
Yeah, so they're giving it to
That's
Stafford.
What they're going to say. I mean, that's the rationale.
I know. I get it. But I don't know. I think if you're going to go anyone outside of that, those 2 quarterbacks, Cup would probably be the most. And then once again, just tune in to Sunday, the Belly Up Bonanza, bellyup.tv. Starts on 12 p.m., sponsored by Manscaped and Needs. So check us out. We'll be on TV. And let's go into the very last segment. The debate of the week. We're going to make it Super Bowl themed. Here we go. Best Super Bowl foods. What do you guys got?
Chicken wings.
I'm on board with that. But do you have any others? Besides, everyone's going to pick chicken wings.
So you want something to debate chicken wings?
Yeah.
Something to put up against chicken wings. All right, fine. If I could lump them all together, just chips, pretzels, snacks in general.
Yeah, dips. I like dips.
Chips and dip. Up against the wings.
Congratulations. You both played yourselves because I drink Guinness and that's a meal by itself. So I'm going to go beer.
All right. So all right, TJ, when you talk about dips though, what's your go-to dip?
You can't go wrong with a good solid salsa. If somebody's going to get a little ballsy, make a good homemade guacamole and they know what they're doing. You fucking buzz yourself, guy. Okay,
yeah, go for it. I like a good queso.
But I think the piece de resistance. If you're gonna go all out, I think somebody that knows what they're doing, knows the way around the kitchen, is gonna make a solid buffalo chicken dip.
Oh yeah.
Sal said buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, Sal, answer.
Sal knows.
Now we'll bring you
Sal
1 second, Sal. Give me 1 second.
Sal doesn't know anything about regular Nintendo games, but fucking A, on the money.
My wife makes a really good buffalo chicken dip. We get the rotisserie chicken from Costco. We chop that up.
Best $5 you can spend.
Oh, it's so good.
Never been invited over your house for the Super Bowl.
I like queso.
I've known your wife for at least 10 years at a minimum. And I've never had this alleged buffalo chicken dip ever.
It's pretty good. We'll make it.
How long have you been with your wife? Hold on. How long have you been with your wife?
14 years.
I've known your wife for 14 years. Where's my fucking phone? Text her right now.
No, she's sleeping. Don't do that.
Fine.
So Doc says Burrows is going to go over. Stafford's going to go under, and Burrows will be MVP. He's going hardcore with the Bengals here. He's going.
I love it, Doc.
Doc, you're the bee's knees and the cat's meow.
And then he also says, "Got to be pizza if we're going Super Bowl foods." Which I thought people do want a pizza.
That's a solid answer.
Anything that is a solid answer. Yeah. But I not to call Doc out. That's a cop out because literally you can offer me a slice of pizza at any point in the day, and I'm gonna be like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
That's true.
Like at any point, if I'm waking up and I just brush my teeth and you hand me a slice, no, Chicago's not pizza. It's a fucking pie. Okay, it's not pizza. The fuck out of here with that Chicago shit.
Pie, it's a casserole.
But if you handed me a slice of pizza at any point of the day, I'm gonna think it's the greatest thing ever.
What if it's Detroit where they put American cheese on top?
They're not doing the right thing. Listen, Detroit, loser town. We already said it.
Yeah, we already said they're a loser city. What do you want? American cheese on pizza? They're a loser city. What are we doing? Going back to Detroit, Loserville. This is what they call Loserville. So I like getting the Philadelphia pretzels, the little pretzel bites.
Philly Pretzel Factory, absolutely.
Yeah, the
rivets,
honey mustard, a little queso. Or like the beer cheese with that is delicious.
Absolutely. I'm a fan of the hot mustard, the spicy mustard.
Guys,
yes.
Makes me drink more beers.
Here, what do you call cheese that's not yours?
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese. Come on, nachos
So I've been dieting. I lost 22 pounds. All right. I'm cheating on Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday is gonna be my Super Bowl cheating for my diet. So I'm excited for it. Doc says he's right there with you, brother. Pizza is a food group in my life. That used to be my life, which is why I need to lose weight. But then he also said I'm happy I'm not from Detroit. Sorry, Detroit. We've been going pretty hard on you. We apologize.
We would lose our one consistent fan.
And then we're gonna bring. All right, Sal, you're coming back. Sal, give us your pick. Give us your. Well, you already said buffalo chicken dip, but what's your other food when it comes to Super Bowl Sunday?
Maybe some mac and cheese. I could go for some mac and cheese.
I actually never had mac and cheese on a Super Bowl.
Really?
That's like a Thanksgiving food.
Listen, mac and cheese is the most American take on Italian food I've ever seen in my life.
Rook, if you're already making the stop at Costco to get the chicken, right there is the mac and cheese. You just throw right in the oven. You bake it 25 minutes in the oven. Good to go. Pull it out.
All right, so Sal,
I'm gonna
go. $7 you can spend.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I gotta go with Joe Shiesty.
Wow, Joe Shiesty. So technically, me and Nick think the Rams will win. I just think the Bengals are gonna cover.
I think the Bengals cover too, but I see Joe Shiesty winning this.
Listen, I just don't trust McVay. I think he makes bad decisions. I think out of anybody, he could lose a Super Bowl very easily.
That's true. And they said that was the thing with the Patriots when they played the Rams. They had said, the defense said afterwards, like all their film that we've seen, like every single one of their plays was exactly what we knew what they were going to do. Like there was no changing it up. They didn't hide their schemes. They knew exactly what they were going to run. The only time that Super Bowl against the Patriots, the Rams did something different was when they did a hurry up offense and the Patriots kind of were thrown for them. And so hopefully Sean McVay learns from that. I mean, learns from his mistakes and maybe gets a little better.
I can see that take where you would say, well, I don't trust McVay. But what gives you any trust in Zach Taylor? He's never been to the playoffs before.
It's the fact that
the one guy's been there and failed, so he will fail again. The other guy's never been there and proven anything, so he'll succeed. That doesn't make sense.
So not saying that my picks or my take mean anything, but just going from the Bengals and how they've rolled through so far and how they've won, and I kind of counted them out, and how they dealt with that adversity and got the wins. I think they're hungrier. I think they're poised to win, and I think they're going to come out all cylinders firing, and they're going to get the win. I think that Sean McVay is going to play on his fucking heels. I think he's going to make bad decisions. He's going to roll out the same stupid playbook he does. He goes, oh, look at me. I'm young. I'm a young guy. I'm the hip coach. Fuck you. You suck.
Hey, TJ, don't sell yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Your takes matter, bro. Your takes matter. We love your takes, TJ. Keep them coming. Show some conviction.
I was gonna sit there and say that with him, and then he got all braggadocious at the end, and I was like, "Fuck him."
But I'm with him on this one though, because I don't really trust McVay either. But show some conviction, TJ. You make that take, you fucking own it.
I do own it, and then my bank account loses it.
Well, we'll take Bengals plus 4.5. Hopefully, that'll work out.
Absolutely.
But unless anybody has anything else to add, I think that covers our show for the day.
Listen, guys, thank you for being with us tonight. We will see you Super Bowl Sunday. Get your pizzas and chicken wings and chips and dip in order. Get your buffalo chicken dip. Get your Costco chicken ready because it's Super Bowl fucking Sunday, guys. This is our Christmas. Let's do it.
And Doc said chili. He's surprised we didn't say chili.
100%. If somebody knows how to make chili, Doc. And even though he's shitting on me right now, my man Nick showed up at my job a couple weeks back and made me a fucking 5-alarm chili that was to die for. So if I showed up at Nick's house for the Super Bowl and he had a pot of chili going, I know I'm gonna have a great time.
Chili's the way to go, Doc. That's a good call there. And Nick makes good chili. So
excellent chili.
All right. Well, thank you for all of us here at the Scoreboard X podcast. Wait, that's Nick's. That's Nick's.
No, it sounded good. I want TJ to do it though, because I thought he was going to sign off.
Yeah, DJ.
No, well, I don't have the buttons, so I didn't know when to. Do you want me to nod at you when I'm done?
Yeah, nod at me when you're done. I'll end the broadcast.
All right, guys. Thank you for all of us at the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. You got the Rook, Nick, our guy Sal. Doesn't know much about the 90s, but we still love him.
There it is. There it is.
A couple beers deep right now, but Super Bowl Sunday, we'll catch you there. Please tune in. Tiki Live. Nick, take it away.
And we're out like fat kids in dodgeball.
Stay rock.